Now I'd like to show you how to cache and set animations as well as set the frames for your animations. And to do this, I'm going to use the touch get params script that you can find in the note card of your eco package. Just copy it into your inventory and transfer it into your breed. And all you need to do is touch the prim that you want to make changes to, and it will give you the information in local chat, which you can copy this and bring it into your species page where you can set the animations, and we'll call it blink. But we're going to want to have more than one frame. See, it's only giving you the one frame, so we're going to increase that to 2, and I'll go back into Second Life and create the animation that I want by resizing the prim down to its smallest size. There, that'll be the blink. We'll get the new parameter here at size, and it gives us the next parameter. So what we don't need two methods. That's really only useful for setting up skins or whatever. So you really just need the parameter, the frame that you're looking to achieve. So the first frame is going to be the resizing to the smallest possible vector, and then we're going to want to delay it for a second or two, and then it will play the second frame. And then if we set repeat to -1, as per you could see here on this side, if we set it to greater than 1, such as 1 or 2, it'll play the animation sequence twice and then unset, so it'll only do the animation twice. But we'll do it with the 2 frames repeating in infinite number of times, and for it to delay for 2 seconds in between each frame, including after it finishes the last frame and moves back to the first again. Okay, really simple setup. I'll save the changes, and now we have the animation called blink. And I'll go back into Second Life and show you how to configure this so that it, where we go, give him his eyes back, and I'll open up the action settings here. And what we have to do to get this to work right, and this was for my the other tutorial that I just created. Just gonna delete it. All we need to do is just on the next line, we need to cache the animation, which we called blink, and then we can set the animation to blink. Okay, it's really simple. If we wanted to cache more than one, then we would do the next animation and just separate it by a comma. However, set, you would have to separate it with a vertical bar separator, because the second value that's separated by the comma would be your true/false indicator of whether you want to save this inside its storage script for it to be reapplied if it's ever rebuilt. So if you're rebuilding, if you're maybe setting a some sort of an accessory using this the set method, then you would want to apply and say true, so that it saves that animation so that it can be reapplied when you if the pet is ever rebuilt. So this is just going to say hello eco, set the text to its to that and gender, and then it's caching the blink, which will be set. And as you can see, every 2 seconds in between, it's running the blinking, and that's just a simple example of how to set it up. You can make, of course, the blink a lot more realistic or random, and it's completely up to you. Another good way of doing that would be putting it on a timer, a random timer where it blinks. I can do that for you real quick here. we'll do a bind timer of every 3 random seconds, and for it to call back to a method called blink. Or to an event called blink. So what we'd want to do in this situation is we would want to cache our blink, but we'd also want to set blink so that it's not a repeating value. So it's not going to repeat, but it'll have, and we don't even need a delay for this. So we'll just have it so that whenever blink is called, it'll close the eyes, delay for the default amount of time, which is 0.35 seconds, and then it will open its eyes back up again. You can't go any faster than 0.35 seconds as the delay in between. It's a built-in throttle to keep the animations stable, and so that you have a good response on everything. However, if you were, of course, applying other animations, let's say you want to do a, let's just, for the sake of doing it, flash the collar as well. It could just be a 111 and a 000. This right here would run this when it blinks the eyes. It would at the same exact time set the color of the collar prim, the ninth prim, to all white. It'll delay for the very smallest default amount of time, and then apply the next param, which would set the collar back to black. And since it's not repeating or a delay, it's only going to be set when I call the method, which the method's going to be called from the blink event. So we are caching the animation just once from the from this script here, and because I previously cached this version of the blank, I'm going to uncache everything and then recache just the blank, set the timer for 3 seconds, which is a random number with the R modifier, so a number between 0.1 and 3 seconds, and it'll call back to the blink event, which will set the blink animation that I just defined. So without having to reset anything, it will remove the previous animation of blink for us, and you'll see it'll do a more realistic blink for us at random intervals, and it'll also be coloring the collar. And it's not coloring the collar because I didn't uncache it, did I? I did. Sorry, folks. Sometimes I'm not as clever as I make myself out to be. You want to save, because I forgot all sides to color it. Oops. Long day, guys. So we could just reset this here, the action object settings. Not that the color's all that spectacular, but I just wanted to show you that the animations will trigger at the same exact time. But you also have to make sure that you're applying the animation, applying the right parameters. So that was a good example of how not to do it. If you're having an issue, refer back to the methods section, and down at the bottom where prim methods are, you'll see that you have the prim, face, and value, as well as additional values that can be applied to this method. So for alpha, which is your transparency, color, and others such as shine and texture, you'll need to define a face. But for what I was doing, just the size, you just need the prim, and then you start your vector. So there you have it, how to and how not to set up your prim animations.